I love all these early birds. This is a great group. Fired up, a minute early, ready to rock. Hi, everybody. So happy you're here. Welcome back. Ready to have a great day? I am fired up to be together for day 4 of the boot camp. Hey, Patty. Hi, Kat. Naomi K. Hi, Nancy. You know the words. Uh, Sing along. Here we go, Mark. I said we do a little dancing. Jackie's back. April's back. Sue's back. Marceline, welcome. Christy. All right, we get to be brave because now it's day 4. It's like it's happening. It's happening. We're doing this. Welcome back, Jackie, Dale, Helen, Cam. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Rose. So glad you're here, Gabby. Whose birthday? Gabby's birthday? Happy birthday! Yes, let's wish Gabby happy birthday. I love it. What an honor to be with you on your birthday. That's amazing. Thanks for being with us. All right. We're going to bring the energy. All right. Sherry's here. Arlene's here. Helen's here. Suzanne's here. Reverend Jade. All right. If you know the words, if you don't, just pretend you do. Ready? Now, write what you want to write. Yeah. Woo! Hey, Deborah. Great to see you. So, who's here? Good to see you. Sue. Yeah, Sarah's back. Awesome. It takes courage. It takes courage to do the books, to monetize, to be successful. Ready? Go. I want to see some claps. Let's go. Tim's back. Martha's back. Star's here. Kathy, Stacy, and Belle. Stay full. Here we go, everyone. Let's bring the energy up. Yeah, I see some hands. I see some dancing. I see some moves. Woo! This song is for you. This is the universe singing. I want to see you be brave. Woo! Just want to see you. Just wanna see you. Oh, good job. Way to go. That is awesome. That is so good. Who's feeling it? Yeah, Suzanne, you're feeling it. Jackie, right? Super powerful to get in state. What kind of state? Powerful state, creative state, energized state. Like we can take on the world, the roar energy, right? All right, so we're going to roar today. We ready to roar? All right, we're going to roar together. So, welcome back. This is day 4 of the Best-Selling Book Bootcamp, and I really honor you all that are here, that have been showing up every single day. It's very easy to start things, and what separates the people that ultimately make the impact that they want to make in the world and everybody else, which is sadly 92% of the population, studies show, is that you keep showing up. You keep showing up. I used to think it was about talent. It was about connections. It was about, all the different things. It's about the people that keep showing up. That's who's going to lead, make a difference, make an impact, make that financial abundance. So can we give each other some high fives, some heart hands, some emojis, just acknowledging and honoring, like, really great job showing up. Because remember, this is day 4. We've got day 5 tomorrow, which is going to be really exciting. Some brand new monetizing strategies that we're going to do. We've got the write-in 11 to 1 on Saturday as our bonus. This is awesome. This is awesome. So I want to know, who did some homework last night? Put H for homework or A for action. Let's just do that. We're not in school, right? All right. So A for action, if you worked on your future bio, if you worked on your book map, if you reviewed the Venn diagram from day 1, if you thought about book bundles and you thought about an event that you could host, and you maybe thought about your speaking. All right, look at this. I love it. Action has been taken. All right. So we're going to do more. We're going to do more action because we're ramping it up. This is a boot camp, right? So this is our way we're going to get strong and powerful. And whatever your next step is, whatever your next breakthrough, your next level, that's what we're here to get you to this week. So really, really excited. And thank you to everyone who joined last night. Such a powerful time together. Super powerful to transform and dissolve those limiting negative beliefs that tell you you can't be, do, or have what you came here to do. Our work last night in that special bonus session was to dissolve that. And we sent out the replay. If you weren't able to join us live, of course, yes, you can watch the replay and have that transformation along with us. Okay. So we're transformed. We're releasing those gremlins, those false ideas, and we're moving into day 4. All right. So we're going to do some powerful work today on how to get the writing to start generating those words on the page. And we're going to do revenue strategy number 4, which is a really exciting one. So let's take a deep breath. Rub our hands together, get ready, open up that right and left hemisphere of the brain for learning and expansion and empowerment and success. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I love it. Some of you are watching the replay already this morning. That's incredible. Way to go. Way to be in powerful action. All right. We also have had a few questions come in, many, many questions for the team and emailing in. And I'm going to briefly answer those as we prepare to do our work today. So some of you, we've opened up the 90-day bestseller experience that's going to start at the end of this month so that we can work together over the next 90 days. And if you haven't started or finished your manuscript, you're going to start and finish your manuscript, right? You're going to get that book draft done. And those of you that have it done, you are going to work on monetizing with us and our team and our structure over the next 90 days. Because we talked about yesterday, let's do a pop quiz. What are the 3 things that are essential to achieving any goal, but certainly in my experience, the goal of writing a book and monetizing a book? Anyone remember? You can remember one of them. You might remember 2 of them. What are the 3 things that we must have in place? In my experience, doing this for 20 years and coaching thousands of people, what is it that we need to have in place in order to go all the way with a goal or vision? Let's see who remembers. Yes, Mark, we need a system. We need a proven system, that structure that's going to walk us through step by step. We need mentorship community. Yes. Look at Christy's got it. Mark's got it. Rose, congratulations. Yes. And it's the equinox today. That's a big power day too, right? We need it, right? We need the system that's going to show us exactly what to do when. And so we can't get all distracted and off track. And then with the mentorship and community, being in the room with someone or someones who have done the thing we want to do in a successful way, in a repeatable way, and a community of people, our family of success, so that we don't sort of start talking ourselves out of it, listening to the gremlins, going back. So I know those of you that are joining us, we are so excited to spend the next 90 days. And many of you have asked, what if I want the whole thing though, right? Like I want the in-depth coaching on the book, the full book edited. I want to get the speaking assets put together so I can go and earn those big 5 and plus figure speaking engagements that I want. So that's Thought Leader Academy, right? That's our main way that we work with people. The 90-day bestseller is the beginning of that experience. It's the first step that people get in Thought Leader Academy. We're pulling that out for 90 days for those of you that want to do that with us. But some of you are like, you're really advanced and you want the whole thing and you want the whole system. So you can absolutely, you don't have to do the 90-day bestseller and wait to come into Thought Leader Academy. You can absolutely come into Thought Leader Academy now. So if you have questions about that, I can walk you through it in VIP. Those of you that are in the VIP session, you can book a time with a team to walk through and learn about that. If you know you're more advanced than what we're talking about in the 90-day bestseller, you want more of the full immersion 365-day support, of course you can absolutely do that. All right, so we will happily give you all the information on that. It's really about finding your right fit. Some of you know it's like this 90-day bestseller is what I need to finally freaking get this book done and get myself monetizing. I need that support for that 90-day container. And some of you know it's the full Monty, the mothership, and you want the whole year and let's get going now and not wait, of course. And you'll get the 90-day bestseller with that. Okay. So just so you know, thank you for sending in your questions. Thank you for reaching out to the team. We promised we would clarify that this morning. All right. Who's ready to write today? Who is ready to get some writing done? Those of you that have your book done, you're going to be focusing on the revenue strategy number 4, okay? And Marietta put her link in the chat so you can meet today and go through like which program's right for you. All right, here we go. Now it's on the music. I got all into our dance party. Let me get to our slides here. All right, what we're going to start with today, I promised that I would share with you a technique that was really exciting for me to explore and then start to implement. And now we've taken, many thousands of people through this. We are going to go here and I'm going to get this up. How to get the book to almost feel like it's writing itself. And I know that sounds like fantasy thinking, but I'm going to show this to you and then you tell me what you think, okay? So how to get the book to start writing itself. One of the biggest obstacles to getting a book done in 90 days or at all is the blank page. Anyone dread the BP? Put it in the chat. If you dread the blank page, it's like you finally make the time, you have a wedge, you're getting ready to go in there. And then it's like, oh my God, what am I even writing? It's like that old cursor, just sitting there, right? It's very stressful. It's a lot of pressure. So I'm a big fan, right? I always use brain science. That's what we teach in Thought Leader Academy in the 90-day bestseller. These are brain science-based strategies. So how do we hack the blank page? And in the 90-day bestseller, I will teach you how to use some AI strategies that will help you. But what I want you to know now, that's even before AI was our friend, is that this is a technique to get the book to start populating itself before you're actually looking at that blank page, okay? So how does it work? This is what I call the story bank. The story bank. And how the story bank works is that before you sit down to your Google Doc or your Word doc and start feeling all this pressure, like, oh my God, it has to be good and a bestseller and I have to have it all figured out. And then you just want to go eat ice cream, right? It's like, where's the Ben and Jerry's? Where's the Netflix show? Like, I can't take it, right? So what we want to do is give ourselves a pre-step. And I call this the story bank. How does the story bank work? What you're going to do is you're going to start to just think about each day for a few minutes. What are the things you know that are going in your book? Like, you just know that they're going in and you're not going to write them out like in book form. You're just going to make a note. Like if I was writing a book about writing books, which I have, it's a very meta, right? I know that one of the stories I'm going to include in that book in my first SSS framework is the story of me in the Boston airport finding the book that saved my life. I know that I'm going to include that story because that's the whole reason I'm here doing what I do. It's the whole reason we're all together in the book boot camp, right? That was my mission moment. That was the moment that cracked open like what I'm here to do and how I can be of service to people in the world. Service to all of you who have the vision of getting your book out in a big way, and then the service to all those millions of readers around the world who need to read your books. Right? So that is going in the book. So I'm not writing out the whole narrative. I'm just putting in, I do this on my phone. I keep a file called the story bank and I write the title of the book, story bank. And then I'm just putting in, you can do it in a physical written journal too, whatever way you like to do it. And I'm just writing Boston airport book that saved my life. That's what goes in the story bank. It's prompting me to know, oh, that's going to go in the first S. And if you're really a super achiever, put essay in the chat because I know some of you are, okay? If you're a super achiever, what you'll do is not just write the little note about the story. identify what part of your book it's going in your story bank. So if I'm using the SSS framework that I taught you all on day 2, I'm going to say Boston Airport book that saved my life, S1, because that's part of the mission of the story, right? That's part of my first S, my origin story of why I do what I do, right? So if you're not using SSS, you're using the hero's journey, the shero's journey, you're writing a different arc. You just know, going in chapter 1, you're going to go back to your book map and you're going to label it, because then that will expedite what you do with it. Okay. So the story bank can be anecdotes and experiences. If you're writing a book about the work that you do in the world, it can be moments of clients that you've helped, right? Moments of clients that you've supported that you're going to have as sort of case studies in your book if you're writing that type of a thought leader book. This can be rock bottom moments, the moment that, like, if you're writing a memoir, it's like, what's it's called the inciting incident, right? If you're writing fiction and memoir, it's called the inciting incident, which means what's the thing that kicked off the whole thing. So my first book is a memoir. It's the 7-year journey of my husband and my fertility journey to try to have our son, which culminated in my mother, yes, at 61 years old, being our surrogate. So if you want a little ride and haven't heard that story, that's what the first book is about, right? So the inciting incident was, I suddenly, we're going to start a family, and I came off the birth control pill and I have no cycle. It's like, is something going on? Is there going to be a problem here? Uh-oh, right? That was the inciting incident to know maybe there was going to be an issue. This can be moments of inspiration. It can be quotes that you're going to use. It can be insights. If you have a framework and you have a 7-step framework that you take people through in your work, then you're going to put, and we've got someone unmuted. If everyone could do a mute check, and team, if you could help us find, just so we get a clean recording. Thank you so much. So it can be your framework. You know that you're going to put the framework in, and you're going to put this story to go with part 1 of your framework, right? So these are some of the prompts, and these are in your workbook, of what are the things that you're going to use in your story bank, right? And you can do a story bank. Like I said, I like keeping it on my phone notes file because it's just always, I wish I could say it's not always with me, but it is, right? So I always know I'll be able to find it and have it. It's in the cloud, right? You can do this on a Google Sheets, like a, spreadsheet where you've kind of mapped your book by chapter, and then you're putting these things in. Yep. And team, could you drop the workbook link again so that we can share? And if you can please help Miss Beautiful Sarah get access to everything that's happened so far, because she's just joining us and needs everything, all the stuff. Okay, thank you. All right, um, so all of these things, anything is going to go in your book, a scene, a moment, a particular experience you had. This is also your research from the second S, right? The situation, even if you're not doing SSS as your outline, like there might be statistics or studies that you're going to include. You're going to put those in your story bank. So put SB in the chat if this makes sense to you. Like, you're not trying to have the pressure of like writing your, magnificent, work of genius, right? You're simply mining your life, the world, the research, all the different things, and you're starting to generate the content for your book. Okay. And then what's exciting is you start seeing this thing fill up and up and up and up and up. And yes, your homework tonight is going to be to do a writing wedge and story bank, right? And as you fill that up and up and up and up, you're going to see, wow, I have a lot of this book. Actually, I have a lot of content for this book. I have a lot of ideas for this book. So let's all take 1 minute, just 1 minute. And I want everyone to think of at least one entry for their story bank. I want you to decide where you're going to keep one, if it's your phone, if it's a physical journal, if it's a Google Sheets. I want you to start a story bank. And I want you to think of one entry and put it in there. Okay, let's just try that for 1 minute. And Michelle, while they're doing that, could you put the main workbook in addition to the daily worksheets so that Sarah or anybody else that needs them can get those? Okay, and then put story in the chat when you have one entry, right? You're just giving yourself enough so that you remember what it is that you're putting in. All right, I love this. Okay. Shoshana says, I have a magical, amazing entry. Oh, I love it. I love it. How fabulous. Okay. So, story bank, right? Now, how many of you think this will help you? This would be empowering if you're not already doing this practice. How many of you feel like if you start focusing on for the next, couple days, over the next week before we start together in 90-day bestseller, that you're going to start seeing the book come to life by just thinking of, you're not writing it yet, you're just starting to populate, and you can do this while you're writing because you're going to get more ideas. It's going to generate them. Okay, awesome. Now, this alone isn't really getting the book to start writing itself. Now, what it is in a way, because you're saying, oh, wow, I have all this material. It's not just a blank page anymore. But let's take it one step further. So there is a legend, again, I don't know if it's myth or reality, that Ernest Hemingway, would never finish a writing session, one of his writing wedges or sessions, with a complete sentence. What he would do is make sure that every single time he sat down to write, he would stop his writing session in the middle of a sentence. And his rationale for doing this was that then when he sat down to write the next day, all he had to do was finish the sentence. Like there was momentum. It's like, oh, it's not so scary because, yes, Ernest Hemingway, okay, who most of us have read at some point, if you went to traditional education anywhere, right? He was afraid of the blank page. He was afraid of the blank page. Books in, stories in, he was afraid of the blank page. So what we're looking at here is like, this was how he hacked his brain. Again, whoever, if this is true or not, or it was someone else, but this is, the way it was told to me, right? But he just said, oh, all I have to do is finish the sentence. Can I finish the sentence? Yeah. It's the same with it's your own writing prompt, April. That's exactly right. Isn't that cool? And so it's the same as the story bank. It's like, oh, I don't have to like start with a blank page. I'll just go to my story bank and I'll pick one of these suckers out and I'll work on that today, right? So you're never asking yourself to just get into that freeze mode, right? You've got something to work with. And so whether you want to do the Hemingway and end in the middle of a sentence, or use your story bank, then you've got the opportunity to get momentum. And then here's the way that the start writing itself makes a full circle for me. All right. I shared yesterday that I'm starting my seventh book now, and I have written four of the six books, never having more than 45 minutes at a time to write. Like I've never had long stretches of time, long way because I'm a mom. I have two businesses, all the things, right? I don't have that kind of time. And so I had to find a way to continue writing these books I feel called to write and desire to share with the world, with my current schedule, right? I just had to. And so the writing wedge was the thing that saved my butt, because I didn't have to. I could have 15 minutes, I could have 20 minutes, I can have 30, I can have 45, and I can get these books done in a very efficient manner. But so how do you make the most of your wedge? You've got your story bank, so you've got ideas generated. Maybe you end in the middle of a sentence, so you're just going to have to finish. But in order to if I've only got 15 minutes to write, or 20 or 30, then I need to make sure that that's a power packed 15, 20, or 30 minutes, right? So what I do is I story bank as ideas come to me, right? I just pop them in the story bank. And then in the morning in the shower, I think about what I'm going to do at my wedge. So I'm not waiting until I get to the writing wedge to start saying, oh, what do I got to write? I'm in the morning and I'm priming my brain and saying, okay, so I'm going to work on the second S today of the new book. And that's going to be the section about the situation. And I've got in my story bank a really cool, astonishing statistic that's going to be like, whoa, right? And then I say, okay, so what am I going to, it's like, okay, my goal, and I set an intention. It's called segment intending. And I set the intention that during that wedge, however long it's going to be, I am going to complete whatever it is. If it's a short wedge, I'm going to say I'm going to write one page and I'm going to show that astonishing statistic, and then I'm going to, discuss how that relates to the topic of my book, right? So that's how I get the book to start writing itself, because then what happens, this is so cool. Your reticular activating system in the brain will go fetch whatever you tell it to go fetch. So if I say I'm writing the story, my origin story, or the situation, or I'm writing the part of my framework where I teach people to get booked on stages, if I'm writing, about something like that, my brain, between the moment of the shower and it might be 7 o'clock at night when I have time for my wedge, is going to be working on that. It's working on it. Has anyone had that? It's like the shower principle. You're washing the dishes, you're unloading the dishwasher, and suddenly you just get it. I call it the download. You get the download, and it's like, oh my God, that's going to be so cool. Or this idea or that story comes in, or even around you, you get emailed something that's so perfect. I was just about to finish the book that's coming out in April, and Suzanne, it's a co-authored book with Suzanne Longstreet. And we were just about to finish, and someone sent me an article that had a statistic that was the perfect way to open that book. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't turn this book in, right? Like we had this perfect, astonishing statistic to just put there right up front and center. Yeah, Sarah, it happens when you're running. I get it when I'm walking. I get it, when I'm in the shower. I get it, after meditating. So whatever your ways are, okay? So that's what we're talking about. How to get the book to start writing itself is what we're talking about here. Okay. So put me, if something that what we've talked about so far today is inspiring to you, you think you can use it, the story bank, the stopping in the middle of a sentence. So all you have to do is finish the sentence, and the segment intending, the brain priming that you can do while brushing your teeth or whatever you do every morning, so that what you're intending to write on that day. And then when you hit the time for your wedge, whether it's in the morning, midday, or evening, your brain is already working on it. Yes, I love it. I love it. It really has changed everything. Using SSS and these techniques are why I can write a book in a few months instead of 3 years. Period. Right? Obviously, you guys, if you're writing a novel or a literary memoir, it's going to take more than, a month to write your book. All right. Yes. And you can do the research in wedges, Jody. I do. I'll set a research wedge. Yes. I love that you brought that up. 100% you can. All right, so let's take a deep breath in and know that we do not have to face the blank page. And those of you continuing on with us, I'll show you a couple other AI things that we don't have time to do today that are so cool. I do not use AI, to be clear, to write any of my book. I don't do that. It's not, you can't be on bestseller lists, you can't win awards. That's not what I recommend. But I sure as use it to expedite the writing process and the research. Okay, now put a 4 in the chat if you're ready to generate some more money with your book. Okay. This is number 4. Number 4, we are going to talk today about the strategy of book funnels. Okay. Book funnels. So here we go. A funnel is simply a pathway. It's a marketing word that really means a pathway. A pathway to what? A pathway between when someone sees or hears about your book and them taking additional action to continue on working with you. Okay. So I used to see the word funnel. Oh God. Ugh, I didn't like it. It seemed so markety and yucky. It's a pathway. I like a pathway. I'm a big walk in nature girl. So I like that. All right. So pathway. A book funnel is a pathway that an individual takes upon hearing you about seeing your book or hearing about your book to working with you in an additional way that they invest money in. Funnels can be 2 steps, like I'll show you, or they can be elaborate with many, many different automations and interaction points. So I'm going to just show you sort of like an overview of some ideas of what book funnels can look like. And I want you, just like the other days, to be kind of listening in with your authenticity and to see which idea sparks something for you, right? Okay. So what's really important about a book funnel is to review, if you don't know this already, the world of buyers. Okay, when I say a buyer, it's anyone who might buy your book, become a client, become a customer, sign up for a course, whatever it is that you're doing to create monetization beyond your book. And at any given time, the research shows that 3% of people are holding a credit card in their hand going, please, God, let me find my solution to this thing. And the minute I do, I'm buying it. Okay. So think about yourself as a buyer. There are probably certain things where you're just like, I have got to find the person who can fix this in my house, or to the school for my kid, or the outfit I need to wear for whatever event that's coming up, or the whatever it is, right? You're just like, when I find this, I'm buying it. Okay. Then somewhere between 20 to 26% at any given time are people who are actively seeking a solution. They're actually like, I want to find my next great book, or I'm looking, reading reviews, or I'm looking for a chiropractor, I'm looking for a doctor, whatever. You're actively seeking a coach. Someone might be doing online research, interviewing people, going to free trainings to check people out. That's the next group. The third group are people who are challenge aware. This means it's like, at some point I'm going to need to deal with this. So I always think about it like, that thing that you're like, oh, at some point I got to book that dentist checkup. I don't feel like doing it today, but like, I kind of got to get on board. I need to figure out my will. I really need to update my will. At some point I need to find out because my lawyer moved and I got to find a new person. And I'm not doing that today, but like, I know at some point I got to do that. Right. And then 60% of people ish, whatever's left over on any given time, are what we call solution or challenge unaware, right? It's not on their radar. So let's say, you're a person that has this brilliant way of training dogs, and the people that don't have a dog are probably not paying attention to anything books about dogs, right? But the minute they get that puppy, right, what happens? Oh my God, it's peeing, it's chewing, it's like not sleeping. I can't, they're desperate, right? Like, who's the dog trainer, right? And so what's so cool about books, and why I love them so much, is that books actually work to move people to monetization in all four categories, right? People that are just like, please let me find my solution, see your book. Holy shit, I don't even want to read the book. I'm hiring you. Thank God you have a map for me, right? The second group are like, oh, I've been looking for someone who does this, and now I've read this book, and this person knows what they're talking about. I am definitely working with them. That's so great, right? Bucket three, then it's just like, oh, I've been kind of putting it off, but now I see this book about whatever. Shit, I got to deal with that, whatever it is, right? Or yay, I get to deal with it because I've actually gotten inspired and that's back on my radar. The fourth bucket, what's so cool with books is that even if someone's like, they don't have the dog, or they're not having that health condition that you help people with, or they don't this or that, but they know people who are. Oh my God, my mom needs this book. Oh, I'm sending this to every one of my clients right now. Has anyone ever bought a book for someone or told someone about a book? It's like, you know what you need to read, right? Whether it's fiction, nonfiction. Yeah. So the four categories of what we're just calling buyers for monetization reasons, like, this is crucial to remember, because your book funnel can actually have people come and invest with you, and you can monetize with all four categories. Okay. So a simple funnel could be like, there's a post or an ad for a book, and someone gets out their card and goes to Amazon, and one click, done, right? That's a simple book funnel. There's some kind of poster ad for a book and someone buys the book, right? 2 steps. See it, buy it. All right. If you want a more complex pathway, right? It might look like a poster ad about a book. And then instead of going right to the book, there's an opportunity for someone to download some free gift, right? Like a checklist, a recipe, a guided visualization, something that it's related to the book, and someone sends in their name and email, and they get this free resource. And then the person gets that free resource, is like, dang, that was good. I got to read that book, right? Or someone sees the post about the book, gets the book, and inside the book is an opportunity to get the checklist. It's like, hey, you want to implement what's in this book, you're going to need the checklist, or the template, or the calculator, or the recipe, or the workbook, right? So that's a little bit more of a complex funnel where you'd have a few steps, not just two. Okay. Then you can actually create the book portal funnel. This is my favorite. If those of you that want to do the high converting thought leader, you want to attract speaking engagements, new clients, you want to support, transform people, you can make a whole world of your book. So, how this looks, just to use the example from The Science of Getting Rich for Women, one of my books, and it's our highest converting book in terms of getting to have people find the book and then come and have the opportunity to serve them in Thought Leader Academy. So inside the book, at certain points, when I reference a meditation, a technique, a strategy, there's a QR code, like you see here on the left. When people scan with their phone right from the book, they go to this page that lets them put in their name and email. And for free, they come into the book portal where they can download the workbook that goes with the book. They can watch videos of some of the meditations and visualizations that are in the book. They can do all these other, just all these other things. They can have a consultation. It depends whatever you want to put on there, right? So the book portal is a world of your book. If you're someone who's going to have many different things in your book that really help the reader to be able to be guided through versus just read them, like when I'm reading a book and there's a meditation, I would much rather go to their book portal and have the audio or the video of the meditation, because I can't sit there and read it and do it at the same time, right? So it's a huge service to our readers if you're writing the type of book that lends itself to this, like a thought leader book. Yeah. Okay. So Amanda Hinman, who's one of our Thought Leader Academy clients, Amanda tried this out, and this was what was so interesting. Amanda wanted to be able to attract people to her book portal actually before her book, The Hormone and Thyroid Solution, came out. Remember, we talked about monetizing before your book's done. So she'd written the book. It was with the publisher. There's those months that the publisher's working on the book to make the cover and get it all ready for launch. So Amanda started just posting that the book was coming soon, and she put the QR code that's in the book actually up on social media. And then she got this whole audience of people before the book was even out to come and start looking at her recipes, because she focuses on, optimizing women's hormone health and peak performance. And so so when that book came out, instant bestseller, she was already helping people. There were people who were investing to work with her based on a book that wasn't even out yet because of the portal. Because she was like, I don't want to wait. It's going to take, who else feels like I don't want to wait, right? Do I have anyone else that feels urgency, like urgency to serve more and impact more? Yes. Yes. Yes, Susan, I use one code, even though I place it multiple times in the book. It's one code that goes to one portal. That's how I like to do it. All right. So that's an example of where you can have your portal monetizing for you while the book is in production. All right. We're going to go back here. All right. So what I want everybody to do is take a minute. We'll take a few minutes, and actually I'll stop this so I can put on some music. And one of your homeworks is going to be to just dream up the kind of book funnel that feels exciting to you and is aligned with the kind of way that you want to work further with people after or before, as we just saw in Amanda's case, they read the book. Okay. So you might say, yeah, I just want to put a post up with the cover and have people buy the book. That's my funnel, 2 steps. Great. You may like the idea of having the book and then letting people have a freebie, have a thing. Mike Michalowicz in his book, Profit First, lets you in chapter 2 of the situation chapter, right? Chapter 2, he lets people take the Profit First assessment. It's like, hey, let's find out how effed you are. Okay, I'm being silly, but how screwed are you in your profitability, right? And as the reader, I knew I was going to get on his email list and get emails from him and marketing stuff, but I still wanted to take that. Even though he put the questions in the book, I wanted to take it because why? I could get my personalized results. I'm going to show you more about how to really language this tomorrow, but I just want to show you kind of the overview of the book portal, right? So I wanted to get my personalized. So it can be a quiz, an assessment. Again, we'll look at some more of these ideas tomorrow. But I will tell you, as soon as we started teaching these and I tested it on myself first, it was an absolute night and day difference between converting from books. Meaning, what does converting mean, right? Converting, having someone go from a reader to a client or a customer or a student in your course or attending an event that you do, right? So super, super powerful. Susan, do you recommend a book? Yes, 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 yes. You can do the QR code right to the portal. Amanda did that at events. Cheryl Klein did that. A lot of our Thought Leader Academy clients have done that, right? Your book's not out yet, but you can start bringing people to a portal where you can serve them. And people get scared. Oh no, what if what if people don't buy the book? First of all, people like buying books, right? We like to read the book. We want the stories. They're not all on the portal. But also, if someone immediately, like Amanda kind of laughed because she said, if someone like a couple weeks ago, she had someone who found her book on Amazon, never heard of her, got the book, went to the portal, called her up and said, I want to work with you. There was a 0-minute sales conversation. She just like, where can I send my payment? I need you. I've been looking. That was to someone who was in the second category of buyers. I was actively seeking a solution. I found your book, and Amanda's like, I can't believe you said it would happen, but I can't believe it happened. Right. So it's your sales machine, right? Your portal can be your sales machine. Amanda could care less if that person bought the book first or not, right? She wants to change people's health, change their life. And if someone buys a book, it's a few dollars, as we know, and someone invests, depending on what you offer, it's many thousands of dollars, right? It's a very different thing. So you're monetizing in a different way. All right. So let's take a couple minutes and just have some fun imagining what kind of a book funnel, a pathway from someone hearing about your book to taking further action and investing with you would feel exciting to you. All right, I'm going to put on some music for us because it's just nice to be serenaded as we create. All right, so give me a second to do that. Just about one more minute to just have some fun dreaming up your ideas. Okay, come on back to the main room and take a deep breath. Give yourself a little shimmy, a little shake. Yes. So how was that? Who got just the maybe even the first inklings of an idea of what your authentic aligned book funnel could be? Your homework is going to be to continue dreaming that up. You can have some fun visioning on that, brainstorming on that. Yeah, Jan, you got some ideas. Awesome. That's great. And Priscilla's talking about using a book card as your business card, which I've done for years also and love Priscilla. And people save them. Sometimes people tell me 3 years later, I'll be on a Zoom and they'll pull out the bookmark like I've saved this the whole time and knew when I was time to write my book, right? It's so beautiful. I love that. You got a good start, Kat. Fantastic. Yes, yes. Suzanne's got her expanded book funnel and pre-QR code. So actually, Suzanne, let's have you come up here. Let's come have in the field, right? Every day we're looking at like, okay, how does this work? We're talking about theory, but what is this like to actually put this into practice? Rose, you asked, how do you make a book funnel? You can do it on a website tab, on your existing website. You can create, its own URL website address. You do that online. So I'm going to bring Miss Suzanne Roberts up here with me. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm so happy to have you here today. Thank you so much. You've had a very busy time. And
Yes,
you let people know just I know it's hard to say in a sentence, but who you are, what you do, so that then we can talk a little bit about this new book that's coming out.
I will. I'm a coach and consultant that has expertise in women's leadership, social issues, cultural competency, and many more things.
Yes, you do. And Suzanne does this incredible modality called polarity that's going to become very well known because
Yes,
the
it
book
is.
is coming out, the documentary is coming out. So I want Suzanne, you wrote your book in 90 days. Okay, so
Yes,
just
I
let's
did.
talk about this. How long had you been thinking about it, trying to write it? Like tell us like what that part of the journey was like before we're getting into creating your book funnel.
6 years. I think I talked to you 6 years ago. You said that's a great idea for a book. I wrote 3 inches worth of material until I finally decided to write the book.
So everyone, I want you to hear that. We talked on day one. How long have we had these books inside us? Suzanne, you were holding this for 6 years, trying to, figure it out and get the thing. And then you came to the boot camp, right?
In
You came to
November.
November, everybody. I want you to hear this. 6 years. Suzanne comes in the boot camp in November, and you wrote the book in 90 days. It's done.
Yes, I did. It's getting ready to go to the publisher after being line edited twice, but I had a date of February 15th and it was done.
Yes. So you all that are here in this round, right? Suzanne was in November and said, I'm coming in. I'm doing this book in 90 days. Finally, after 6 years, it's time. You
Yep.
made the decision, Suzanne, because it was your decision. And our decisions, determine our destiny. And now you did it. The book was written in 90 days. Like, did you think it would happen? Like, did you, when you were in that moment of saying, I'm finally going to do this, I'm going to come to the boot camp, I'm going to join Thought Leader Academy. Like, did you think that you were going to hit it in 90 days?
I was committed to hitting it in 90 days, whether I thought it or not. So to be
I
honest with
love
you,
that.
one of the things I think I learned along the way is there's a difference between work, it being hard work, and focused. Focused commitment, there's for me, a big distinction between those two. And I learned through writing, I loved what you said today, two things. One is the book started to write itself. I mean, I gave it a form and a structure, but as I wrote, it kept emerging because it was in me. It's in all of you. I've been listening to you on, like if you want it to happen, it will happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And you decided. What's so exciting?
Yeah.
What do you think allowed you to decide to finally ultimately do it? Like was there anything that had shifted in you, like anything that was happening at this point in your life?
I think a couple of things. One is I saw the potential for the global impact, and I thought if I'm not doing this, then the kind of change I want to see in the world isn't going to happen. So my interest in having a deeper and further reach became more important than my fear. And so fear was instead of immobilization, became excitement and courage. That's one thing.
Ooh.
Because it's not like I'm not afraid. And I've been listening to you talk to you. I mean, I'm on to bigger stages now, more things, and I keep getting this shakiness inside. And I think, okay, I'm getting more alive. This is happening. Bigger, better. And I also put myself in therapy a year before
Mm,
to start being ready to handle the kind of visibility I'm going to have in a way that I've never had before. I've been very visible in certain ways, but
yeah.
this is a larger platform of visibility. So I worked on myself to get ready.
I love this so much. So, Suzanne, you're not only doing a book, but there's a documentary that is
Yes.
also coming out. So, I want
Yes.
everybody here, do you mind sharing your age so that if people are having any like, and you could say, I mean, I did not ask any kind of, prep for this, but there's so many of us that think, oh, I should have done this when I was 20 and I didn't do it. And so,
Yeah. I'm 72. I'm going to be 73 in October, and I am launching my legacy. I'm telling the truth about what I know about energy, about life, about our interconnectedness, and I'm doing it in a way that's unapologetic and bold.
it's insane. I can't believe that's your age because you obviously have so much vibrancy and look so much younger. But the age isn't important, right? You decided at that moment that it was like it's finally time. So the book is coming out. It's at the publisher. It's going through its final
Yes, it is.
reading. It's at the publisher. You've got a cover. The cover's been designed, which is stunning. You have
Yeah.
the documentary is finished filming. It's into editing. So let's talk about what kind of funnel you're putting together. Let's tell everyone what you're planning for this.
I want to say a couple of things though. Sarah, when I came in November, all I wanted to do was a book. I didn't know what an SEO was. I didn't know, I mean, I didn't know what ChatGPT was. I had never been on social media. And since then, I've created a book portal. I'm on social media. I've created a YouTube channel. I mean, I can't believe what's exploded, but I am doing a book portal. And after today, I am going to do the QR code ahead of time because I have great material in there. I will have some questions for you later about what goes in before the book, but I'll ask you later. But I just feel, I think what I want to say to Sarah is thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for your living example. I think we all need living examples to feel like we can do this. And I just feel like so much has happened since November. I sort of want to pinch myself, like I've been invited on 3 podcasts. It just keeps rolling, 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 and I'm not really trying. I
Right.
will try. I will be strategic moving forward, but it's happening anyway.
It's happening already. Like
Yeah,
that's the thing about I love that distinction you made between like the hard efforting work and focus.
focus.
Right? So focused flow, and that's what we're really cultivating using the brain science and everything together. Obviously, we get the gift of working with you in Thought Leader Academy. So the flow, the focus. And so what are you most excited about? Right? Because you also had people come into a group, right? It was a class, like there's been so much that you've created so fast that I'm like even keeping it straight in my mind.
I created an introduction to polarity because nobody knows
That's right.
what polarity is. And I did that because I was invited to be on a panel at a leadership conference and I was going to be in front of 400 people. And they said, "Do you have something to offer afterwards?" And I said, "Yes," without having something to offer. So I created the introduction to polarity. I wanted 100 people on the first one. We had 107 register. I'm doing the last one in April. And so if you want to find out what polarity is, come on, Patty, my
Yes.
is on here. She can post it in the chat because it's not my
Yes.
phone. There she is.
Good.
And she can also post on here how to get access to the book and documentary. Do you mind doing that,
Yes.
Patty?
Yes,
Um,
please do share that because I know after hearing this, like so many of us are like, we need to see it. We want to be on the wait.
oh, I'm so excited. It's such powerful work. I'm really excited.
As you should be. So, Suzanne,
Oh,
way to freaking go, right? It's just like, so everybody, any gremlins you have about, I've waited too long, this is my age, I haven't been on social media, I don't have, Suzanne, you've come in since November. It's only a couple of months and you booked the speaking engagements, finished the documentary filming, written the book, have the cover design, the portal's going up, you have the course. This is incredible. So I want everyone to really take this in for a minute, okay? Suzanne, you are living proof to us that there is no excuse that could
yes,
stop us unless we let it, right?
that's right.
Yes,
That's
and look at you,
so true.
glowing, powerful, taking on the world. And like you said, this is your legacy.
Yeah.
right? This is why social media can't live beyond us, you all, but the books can. The books can.
Patty, can you put a way for people to get a hold of me so that, because I see questions I don't want to answer, can I just
Yeah.
show the cover of my book? Is it
Oh
possible to
my
show?
gosh. Yeah. Do you guys want to see? Put cover in the chat if you want to show and tell. I want everybody to see. Yes, let's see the cover. Right. This just came through from our amazing cover design team. So Suzanne, see if you have screen share. Or otherwise, Michelle, if you can give that to Suzanne, because I don't think it's gonna let me do that. Um, see if you can show us.
I asked for a screen share. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. So either Amy or Michelle, you can give Suzanne the permissions to show. Anticipation, everyone got a drum roll. Because everyone knows if you've done your book, like the day you get to see the cover is so exciting. It's so exciting. Okay, we'll find a way to get that for you. I wish I could do it. We'll
Hold on a
find.
second. I'm just gonna get it was I moved it from my screen. So hold on, I have to get it back up again. Okay. Uh Hold on, just I'm sorry this is taking
You're
long
fine. No,
time.
take everybody. Everyone, I want deep breaths and for you to think about. Remember in Thought Leader Academy, we say, I am one with
There it
that.
is. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, we can. Gorgeous. It's deeper than that, a pathway to a vibrant, purposeful, liberated life. So beautiful, right?
It's based on the operating system, a wireless operating system that's inside of us, that our soul consciousness is operating through form to remember itself. And that if you think about it, our soul, which is a part of the eternal ocean of love, is pulsing inside of us all the time through our cerebral spinal fluid. And why don't we know that?
Right.
If it's there, why don't we know that? So, and it's memoir, storytelling, and science, metaphysics, and then looking at how we can become better human beings, actually, through looking at our inner knowing versus social systems. It's a lot of things in one book, but I love it. Actually, I'm proud of it. So,
As you should be. This is so great. So can we just give Suzanne massive congratulations? I know everyone's feeling how soothing and calming, and you're deep. And so I love that the cover has the depth visually. It has deep in the title. So powerful.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Suzanne. I know you get to
Thanks
get
for
back and get
having
that
me.
portal going.
Thank
Yes.
you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amy.
We love you, Suzanne. Thank
Love
you
you too.
so much. Awesome, 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 awesome. So that's our daily dose of inspiration, right? This is thought leadership in the field. What does it look like to do the book in 90 days, start booking speaking ahead of time, bring people through your funnel, and having that gorgeous book come into the world that's that portal for everyone else to learn about what you do and to work further with you and get the transformation. I mean, do we all need to be better humans right now? Yeah, I think so, right? I think so. So, everyone, let's review our homework for tonight. All right, we have a big day tomorrow because I'm going to show you more about how to language people, whatever kind of funnel you put together, kind of what do you need to say to have someone know that it'll be valuable to take the next steps on your pathway with you. And we're going to be having an amazing guest expert who is selling hundreds of books per day on social media. Okay. Jenna Banks is going to be here to show us some incredible new strategies that are changing the game in the book selling world. It's really exciting. We're going to be doing a lot more good revenue generation tomorrow. So, your homework today is do a writing wedge and make entries in your story bank. If you're already done your book, your homework today is to dream up your book portal and start to take action on it. If you're just starting your book in the middle of the book, you just kind of dream up the portal. You don't need to take action. I usually write the book and then build the portal as soon as I turn in the manuscript. That's just the way I like to do it. And I'll like Amanda and Suzanne is talking about you can use the portal while the book is at the publisher. Yeah, super exciting. So you're going to map out your book funnel. You're going to do some story banking, start getting words on the page, do a writing wedge. If you're already done your book, you're going to be monetizing. And then everyone make sure if you have questions about 90 Day Bestseller or joining us in Thought Leader Academy, go ahead and make sure you make an appointment today with the team or come to the VIP room and I can happily answer any questions that you have. We all have until Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time after our write-in day to be able to join with all the special bonuses and at the special rate and everything. Okay, so really exciting. VIPs, I will see you over over in the VIP room in a moment. Everyone else will be back here at noon tomorrow. Really important day. And you'll get the replay, the worksheets, the workbook, all the things, the replay from last night's mindset session, all those goodies will come to you as they have been every day. If you need anything in the meantime, message care@sarahcannell.com and the team will help you. All right. I'll see you all in a minute or tomorrow. Great job.